Welcome everyone to the Monday Night Live stream. Good to see you. Don't forget that pinned message right there for the best live fish. Try Dance Fish, 10% off your first order. Click that referral link, affiliate link, same thing. Ragtime music time. So, I'm gonna warn you right now, we're only going for an hour today. Next week, probably only going for an hour. And then hopefully the week after we are back to the regularly scheduled programming. Just have a lot of stuff to do, and yeah, can only go for an hour, but we'll make the best of it. And yeah, the late delay there had some difficulties. YouTube had to do a quick restart. So hope you guys got your beverages and your snacks and you're ready to go. I got my beverages ready here. Of course, my big jug of water, and trying something a little different today. Apple cider vinegar. We'll you know, see how that works. And oh man, well, that last stream was kind of fun, huh? Steenfott 24. Yep, if I play my cards right, you'll be voting for me in 2 years. Amateur Aquatic Addiction, hello. Well, hello to everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As always, we're gonna give this a few minutes for people to stroll on in here. Don't forget to hit the like button while we're waiting. I'll take this off a top chat here. Making pasta, nice. I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner yet. Still some time to figure that out. Aiden says, work 2 hours today. Just got told there's no work for me tomorrow. The well is drying right as my car's water pump exploded. Am I drinking the apple cider vinegar, or is it a giveaway? Boy, talk about the worst giveaway ever. We are giving away a $1 bottle of apple cider vinegar. That's it. Making some panko chicken nuggets. Nice. Well, you couldn't be any worse than what we have in DC. Well, that was almost going to be my slogan, but I got a different slogan. And that is, I can't be bought. You cannot bribe me. I don't care enough about money to change my opinions. No amount of money will make me change my opinion. You cannot buy my love. So, yep, that's my slogan. Cannot be bought. I don't care how many duffel bags of cash they bring. What I will do, though, is say, yo, yeah, give me all that money. I'll do whatever you want. And then I'll just take the money and do whatever I want. Suckers. I feel like Bob hung up on us at the end of the member stream. I kind of did. Bow Wow says I drink it every day. Every single day. Austin says, discus breeding, ideal setup. So you're actually asking someone who has never bred discus. So I don't know that I'm the best for you. I will say there was a pretty big discus breeder in my area. I did see his fish room, and he had just gobs of 20-gallon tall tanks with breeding pairs of discus in them. And that's it. They were bare bottom, nothing in them. It was sponge filters, auto water changes, and then a breeding cone for them to lay their eggs on, and that was it. And he had a ton of them. And as a matter of fact, he quit because he bred so many that he couldn't even give them away. Like, he was trying to pay people in discus. So, yeah, he kind of saturated his own market. Hello from Southwest Florida. I'll be making leftovers from cooking out during the storm. They actually are pretty good on the grill. Nice. Aiden says, wait, I lost my membership? Sure looks like it. I don't know, you get a new card expire? Huh? I don't know. Were you gifted one and it expired? I'm not sure. Dell says, where can I find some cheaper tanks, 300 plus gallons? Facebook isn't working. P.S. love the videos. So what you're asking is what everybody wants. Where can I get a 300-gallon size tank for cheap or free? I know you didn't say free, but that is the million-dollar question. And the answer is to just keep looking. Facebook Marketplace. I know you say it's not working, but you just got to keep checking. OfferUp, Craigslist, Those are like the big three that I find, and a lot of people with the large tanks know what they have and know what they're worth. You got to hit up like the dentist office that closed down that has like a big aquarium in it, or the doctor's office that moved and they don't want to pay to move their 400-gallon display tank, or some other random business that went out of business. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You just got to be patient. There's no magic place where 300-gallon tanks are just out there for $100, unfortunately. I can't remember my password. Give me a second. I got some great history, lots of castles around Wales. Out of all the places I've been, I've never been to Scotland and Ireland, and they're so close. I must visit soon. I would love to go there. And funny enough, I think it was last week that we were talking about how you can buy like 1 square foot of land and become a lord or a lady. And the company that does that just reached out to me and wanted to sponsor one of my videos. Which, kind of a coincidence, I don't know. Seems kind of weird that the same week we talk about it on the live stream, and now they're reaching out to me. So maybe I need to talk about some other stuff. I don't know. Ginger Grumble with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, remember to hit the like, folks. Thank you so much. Hip Hop Hillbilly member for 3 months. Thank you. Says, I know a UVB doesn't penetrate glass or acrylic well. Look into the effects on plant growth with or without lids with full spectrum plant lights. Whew. Sorry, I kind of butchered your sentence there, but Hip Hop Hillbilly, yes. So not necessarily with full spectrum lighting, but acrylic and glass. So I had a par meter once upon a time, a long time ago, and it cut off about both of them equally, right around 30%, about a 30% loss of par going through glass and acrylic. Now this is not like low iron glass, this is just your run-of-the-mill cheap glass lid, but you lose about 30% par rating. And that was with acrylic glass, and then the other one was the polycarbonate panels. And they weren't all 30, one was like 25, one was like 29, one was like 32. Not enough to just make me not say just 30% all across the board. If you have a local aquarium society or fish club next to you, some of them have par meters that you can rent out. That's how I got mine, from the Greater Seattle Aquarium Society. They let you check out their par meter. And yeah, so that's how I found out. And we did a little experimenting, and after that, I took the tops off of all my planet tanks. All my high-tech planet tanks, not like if it's just a Nubius and Crypts. Like, who cares? Keep your tops on. Aiden, back to the dream. Welcome, buddy. I think I forgot to do this last week, so I'm going to do it right now, and that is the fish of the week. And I'm going to do, I'm going to be a little better at it this time. Instead of just showing you a random picture, I think I can actually show you a video. So the fish of the week. Any guesses? Any guesses? Pretty awesome fish. It's obviously a barb. Well, that might not be obvious, but let me link the name. I'm gonna butcher it. Dockyncia aureolus. Aureolus. I have no idea how to say it, but this is the fish of the week. A really cool, peaceful barb that gets right under 3 inches, 3.5, 4 inches, so right under 4 inches. What else? They are peaceful, but keep in mind that will eat things that fit in their mouth. So, you know, it would have to be a pretty small fish, but like, let's say you have some least killifish, things that are that small, probably not good tank mates, but they generally are not fin nippers. They don't go after other fish. A really generally peaceful fish, especially for a barb. Temperature wise, I mean, great for unheated aquarium, like a lot of barbs are, right? They can go into the upper 60s, like even in the mid 60s. And then they don't like it warm though, so don't go above 80 with these guys. They don't like it. What else? They're omnivores, so just, you know, feed them a super wide variety of food. Egg scatters if you want to breed them. And yeah, obviously you can get them from, well, I don't know if it's obvious, but you can get them from Dan's Fish. He has them for sale. You might have seen them in the tour video if you watched that. And I don't know, when I saw these in person, I instantly fell in love with them. They're way more colorful than they look like even right now. So cool fish. They're only about 10 or 12 bucks, I think. Actually, let me just find out for sure, because that makes way more sense. At $12.99. And obviously a schooling fish, so make sure you get, you know, quite a few of them, as many as you have room for. It doesn't matter, if you can't afford them, it doesn't matter, just use credit, whatever, right? The American dream, put everything on credit. Just, whatever. Just make sure you got room. Money, don't worry about money, just make sure you have enough room. And there you go, fish of the week, the Dawkinsia Aurelius. I don't know, I'm just butchering it. I have no idea. Fish Out of Water wants to know, any hints on growing vinegar eels quickly? They seem to take months to get enough numbers to harvest for me. So the key is starting with a lot. So I know that seems obvious and probably a stupid answer, but the more you start with, the better. So if you buy one, don't just buy one culture, buy like 3 when you're on, wherever you're getting them from. Buy multiple and stick them all in one jar. That's just the best way to do it. Most of the times when you're getting your cultures, if you're either buying them or getting them from like another fish keeper, you're not really getting a ton of them. But be patient. Eventually you'll have more you know what to do with, but it does take time. Regina Flange says, plus Petco has their half-off aquarium sale all month. There you go. Go buy yourself an aquarium. Then go to Dan's Fish and get yourself some sweet barbs. Some bodacious barbs. Some bootylicious barbs. That's it. That's all I got. I'm not going to try to pronounce that one. Yeah, it's... Did I just say bootylicious barbs? All right. It's probably way easier. Like, Dan could probably just roll... Dan probably knows it, and he's probably like, this is how you say idiot. Not that he would call anyone an idiot. Dawkinsia Aurelius. That's what I'm going with. Dawkinsia Aurelius. But they're really, really, really cool in large groups. So, you know, if you can only get like 6 now, just, you know, wait, get 6 more later. Does anyone have a way to improve the light used in the 32-gallon Flex? Yeah, you replace it. Or add to it. Bob, will Purigen remove ferts? Yes, and will salt when quarantining fish cause stress? It can, because I know meds do. Again, it can, but not always does. And do you always add meds when quarantining or only when the fish looks sick? So, Jacob, it depends on where I'm getting them. If I'm getting them from like a Florida farm, I'm gonna medicate them no matter what. If I'm getting them from like a breeder, like a reputable breeder, then I'm not going to give them meds, but I'm going to quarantine them, and probably only for like a week. And if I don't see anything wrong with them, you know, their scales look healthy, they're eating, their poop looks healthy, then I'm going to put them right in there after a week. So I kind of have like a grading scale of quarantining depending on where they come from. If that's helpful at all, I have no idea, but that's how I do it. Curtis Schindler with the $1 super chat, thank you. If you're thinking bootylicious when you look at fish, you may be spending too much time with fish. I have been spending a lot more time with fish than I have been probably in the last year. Like every single day for like, I don't even know, for weeks now, I've been in the fish room just going crazy. And hopefully we'll have something to show here pretty soon. Last week we showed the regulator, so I got CO2 going in the fish room, and you'll all get a video of that. But I don't want to do these videos where you get a new product and like the next day you make a video out of it. So I'm actually I want to wait like a month. And then I'll post a video of the regulator and the CO2. So yeah, eventually we'll have some videos of that coming around. Thunder Aquatics, what's going on? Putting your own light in the glass tops is the only way to go, in my opinion. Yeah, so this is, what's the other one? It's all in one, and people normally use it for salt. The Biorb, I think. I got one of those like back in 2018, and I literally like took a Dremel and cut out the light, cut the whole section out, and then I glued a Phoenix light in its place. Would I use meds? Wait, where did that comment go? Something about using meds. It disappeared. Eric Wyrock says, oh my god, I can spend all day on Dan's fish dreaming over the Cory and Pleco category alone. Try being there in person. Like, I was there, I think, for 5 days, and it wasn't enough time. It is crazy. I want to go back so bad, especially with all the new fish. Like, he was kind enough to show me the list of all the new fish he's getting that aren't on the website yet, and I was like, dude, I gotta go back. I want to go back so bad. I honestly, I just want to move there, but it's not in the cards for me right now. And when I'm not there, you're in, when I'm not in my fish room, you're in Danny's fish shed. Yeah. Yep. That's always a fun place to film. Paul says I need to start spending more time back in the fish room. It's nice. Like, I've been so busy with other stuff for so long, for like 2 years now, that I'm finally to a point where I can spend time in the fish room. I'm posting videos again, and I'm not even caring like how well they do. Like, I'm just posting what I think is fun, and if it gets a 1 view, I don't care. If it gets 100,000 views, even better, you know. But still, I'm so over like the YouTube algorithm and analytics that I'm just doing what I want at this point. This is why I have goofy shorts on my channel right now of like trolling KG Tropicals, making stupid jokes, juvenile jokes with Dan is in the last short. If you haven't seen the shorts, and you have lowbrow humor like I do, you might enjoy them. How come brilliant green rasboras didn't make your top 5 video? The neon green rasbora did, which I think is what you're talking about. So there's a brilliant rasbora, and then there's a neon green rasbora. If there is a brilliant green rasbora, I've never heard or seen them. But I think you're talking about the neon green, or the kubatai, however it's pronounced, rasbora, which is the really, really like neon green, like the best looking rasbora in the world. Which is also for sale at Dan's Fish right now as well. So use that link and get your 10% off your first order. If you've already ordered, you don't get 10% off. So, you know, you're SOL. But you know, we're doing the 10% off to try to encourage people who may be on the fence, who haven't ordered yet. Because once you order from Dan's Fish once, you're going to be a customer for life. Like, it's just crazy good fish. And also, thank you for the people that have been using the link. I really do appreciate it. Okay. I think that's enough selling for one stream, right? What top fish for a 10-gallon tank would you suggest for a 10-year-old? I will get it cycled and... Wait. Hip Hop Hillbilly. I'm just going to start this over because I've already butchered it so much. All right. My top 10 fish for a 10-gallon tank for a 10-year-old. I will get tank cycled and on point before giving it to my nephew. So I think there's a few things I would do, and I would probably do... I would do endlers, but I mean, guppies, basically the same thing. And I would do like cherry shrimp. And here's why. I think if a kid sees fry, I think they'll get super excited. I think if they see little shrimplets, they'll get super excited. Both are easy to keep, and both will reproduce fairly easily. Oh, excuse me. Oh, in a 10-gallon tank. And I think fish breeding will really gets kids excited. So that's what I would do. I kind of think like maybe a betta, just because it's easy. I mean, but chances are the parent's going to be taking care of it, right? Unless he's just a super awesome kid. Like when I was 10, I wasn't taking care of my animals, my parents were. So I was not a super awesome kid. But I don't know. I think something that breeds like a live bear, like a guppy, and then shrimp. I think it would just give you a lot of activity, give them a lot of things to look at, and a lot of things to learn about. I just got the new circulator for my sump. I'm pretty pumped. I like it. Get him a dove eye? Yeah, I don't think so. Waiting for Dan's fish to get more tank-raised stir-bys. The wild-caught ones are a bit too pricey. Yeah, wild-caught. I get it. I understand. What's your opinion on mixing Corydoras? I'm all for it. With adequate school sizes, like 12 Corys and 12 Julii. I'm all for mixing Corydoras. I don't have a problem with it at all. I mean, ideally, you'd want them like, you know, like you said, 12 of each. But even if it's like one species of like 15 different species, they'll still school together. They'll still be buddies. But you know, ideally, how you're doing it, I would rather do it. But like I said, worst case scenario, I'd still be okay with one of each as long as the school is big enough, because they will school together. And Fish Tank Barn, Mike, what's going on, my friend? Has gifted five memberships. Legion Aquarium. Why do you get it every time, Legion? That's ridiculous. You got some kind of hacks going on there or something. I don't know. Marvin Loach Gardens, William, Adam, and Cheryl. Hello. Or Cheryl? I don't know. Oh, man. Liquid Zoo OnlyFans says, seeing your explains why you haven't been banned for my humor. I've got worse ones too that I won't show because they're swearing. I'm like, yeah, I can beep it out, but there is another one featuring KG Tropicals that I might do, but it's got some pretty harsh words in it. It's not with them in it. It's just something that was said about them. I don't know. I thought it was funny, but it might be a little too much for YouTube, even edited. Curtis says, so I picked up a small sand filter for a pool and I'm thinking of filling it with bio balls and running it in a tank. Worth it? I would rather use it with sand. So back in the day, like back in the 70s, like sand filters were the thing. Those were like it. And then undergravel filters came along and those were the things. But back in the day, like sand filters. I've had some older family members see my tanks and they're like, you don't have any sand filters? We used sand filters back in the day. Back in the day. So I would try and just use it and see what happens. I mean, it'd be fun to experiment with. Fish Tank Barn says, sorry I've not been around. It's volleyball season for my daughter and we've had games the last 2 Mondays. It's just that time of year, my friend. No need to apologize. Regina Flandy says, I can't think of any cons for Julii's. It's for the price, Julii Corydoras might be the best Corydora. I mean, they're an awesome looking fish and they're pretty inexpensive. Legion Aquatics says, every time I've been a member for months on like 4 different channels from gifts. Oh, man. I still can't gift my own memberships. Like when it was first a thing, I did it and gave away memberships. And now, I don't know what's going on. What would you stock a 75-gallon Iwaguma escape? I like saying that different every time I say it. It has anoxic filtration with an undergravel plenum. What would I start with it? I mean, Rainbowfish. Are you new to the channel? Always, the answer is always Rainbowfish. Always. Hip Hop Hillbilly says, speaking of undergravel filters, what's your opinion on them? Very mixed reviews from what I've seen. They work. Like they all work. Like choose this whole like, anytime someone says like this is the best filter, like we had that going around, like right, Plenum was like going around these Plenum filters and like these are the best things ever. Anytime someone says that, I immediately like shut off and stop listening. All filters work. Just choose which one you like the best. That's all it comes down to. I mean, let's be honest. Sponges, hang on back, sumps, canisters, they all work. Undergravel filters, they all work. They all do the job. Just Pick whichever one you like the best. Would I need a big pump to make it work right, or would a normal aquarium pump work? That's an interesting question. You'd probably... I'm surprised it didn't come with a pump, to be honest. It's weird for a pool filter to not come with a pump. I would probably Google the pump and see what kind is supposed to come with it. And whatever that gallon per hour is, that's what I would go with. UPS, you're living the dream, says, I made it. UPS, you're living the dream. Going to be at Fishtoberfest next weekend. Listen, if you're in the Pacific Northwest, even if you're not, fly. It's going to be fun. Portland, Oregon. I realize it's the same weekend of Aquashella, but let's be honest. You've been to one Aquashella, you've been to them all. Do something different. Come hang out with me and the other rad dudes and dudettes at Fishtoberfest, Portland, Oregon. Hey, are breeding any plecos? If you're asking if I'm breeding any plecos, I currently am not breeding plecos. K-Stu says, the emerald green are cheap, hardy, and they look amazing in a sunlit room. That is true, but I'm still sticking to my guns that for the money, Julii Cories are probably the best. That's just my opinion. Ginger Grumble with the $5 super chat says, Bob's Emu Fund. Texas Fish Room. What's going on? Texas. I need to email you and see how much you're going to charge me for a hat. My blue one, I ruined it. I ruined it pretty bad. And I don't know. Like it's just been sitting here collecting dust because I ruined it. But I got something on the bill and stained it. And I'm so sad because the blue one was my favorite. And I kind of want a red one too, but okay, Johnny. There's always got to be one, Johnny. Yes, the actual Julii Corydoras are hard to find. All right, we're talking about Julii Corydoras that everyone knows and loves that are like $6, and you can buy like 1 billion of them. I'm just kidding, buddy. Will Corydoras get along with a pair of pistols and a 40 breeder? Absolutely. Give me the hat. I can fix for you and give it back. No, you can't. Johnny Dance Fish are the ones at Pet Supermart. Not true. So they're called false Juliis. But most companies or resellers leave out the false part. Rocky Miles says, I struggle to keep Cories with neon tetras because the neons are little jerks and steal any and all of the Cories food. That's when you have to get the like the wafers that the neon tetras can't pick up, right? I'm actually, I noticed this in my fish room. So I've been setting up my 150. I've been painting it. It's what I put CO2 on, so it's gonna be high tech. And I was sitting there planting it, and I was looking around, and I'm like, I don't have any Corydoras in here. Like, what the heck? I always have Corydoras in all my tanks, but for some reason, in this tank, I had 0 Corydoras. So I need to pick some out and get some. And I have this one right here. Let me show you. Let me pull it up here. I've never kept Corydoras melani, but I think they look pretty neat, and I kind of want to try them. So they're these guys right here. They kind of got like the skunk Corydora vibe going on, but not really. But they still got that line. It doesn't go down their back. It goes down their side. I don't know. I think they look pretty cool. Like, this is a pretty cool looking Corydora. And the other great thing is that they're fairly inexpensive. So I might order a group of these, but I have a feeling that if I order a group of these, I'm going to want to breed them. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but we'll see. Maybe I'll find some neat Cories at Fishtoberfest. I'm not sure. Getting learnt with Big Steen. Is there a better alternative to RO Buddy system? Seems pretty extreme to take 24 hours to get 50 gallons of water. more expensive RODI systems, right? I had a company reach out to me and wanted to give me one that was 75 gallons a day, which I mean, honestly, I think that's pretty good. I don't need more than that. And I wouldn't even get it for like, I haven't messaged back yet, because if I get it, I won't use it in my fish tanks. I'll use it for drinking water. Like I'll do RODI, get rid of all the sand, just all the junk that's in tap water, and then I'll remineralize it and use it as drinking water. That's what I really want to do with it, but we'll see. We'll see. Ginger Grumble again with a $2 super chat says, please hit the like. Definitely hit the like. We've got 150 people here. And how many likes do we got? 62. We're pretty light on the likes. Rapashi, after the lights go out, feed my Corys with tetras. Yes, Rapashi. And that's just a good suggestion with any food. Feed after the lights are out. Corydoras will feed in the dark at night. I don't know why that sounded really weird, but Curtis Schindler says, I'm still in love with the C123 yellows. Me too. I happened to buy some of the last ones Dan had. He was doing that live stream and they showed like 9 left in stock. Only 7 fit in like the small box, and I was being cheap, so I bought 7 of them. And I felt kind of sad to leave the other 2, but that happens. But yeah, super excited to get them. They're in with my Coste tetras, and they're just loving life. It's a super I don't want to say super rare, but I've literally never seen them before, and they were only like 12 bucks. I was like, I gotta have these. I've got a case of the Mondays. Someone's got a case of the Mondays. I've heard you can no longer fly with live fish. I need this myth debunked before next week. I have no idea. I haven't heard that at all. Hip Hop Hillbilly says, okay, last question. Think L46 zebra plecos would be okay in a 10 gallon with pea puffers? My next little tank idea for myself, I don't know that I would do that. Like, one zebra pleco in a 10 gallon would be just fine. Will they get along with pea puffers? Probably. But I don't know. There's just something about that seems weird. I don't know. It'll work. It'll work. You can do pea puffers with a zebra pleco. But if you do one zebra pleco, I think you might run into problems. Katie with a $20 super chat says, can you debunk whether or not you can fly with live fish? I need to know. And I can't. Unfortunately, you're a little late on that super chat. Sorry about that, but no, I cannot. I don't keep up with that type of news at all. And even if you can't, when it comes to shove, you can probably get them shipped. I would imagine that if you check baggage, then you can absolutely have fish. But again, I'm just, yeah. Let me refund that super chat since I did not help you at all. Ginger Grumble says, I recommend calling the airline or looking it up. Now, you can definitely call the airline or look on TSA's website. Usually has a list of what you can or can't do, but I would honestly call the airline. Waste of a $20 bill. Yep. It's those situations when I normally don't feel bad about super chats, but when you ask a question and I can't answer it, then I feel bad. How real is the danger of rainbow fish injuring themselves by bumping into rocks? It's very real. It happens all the time. Is it usually life-threatening? No. Hey Bob, my L333 Bellomonte spawned. What do you think is a sellable size? I've never heard an L333 called Bellomonte. That's kind of neat. Probably like 1.5 inches, if we're being realistic. Just think the larger you grow them out, the more money you'll get for them though. So it just depends. Like, is it something you need to get rid of really fast? Or can you wait a little, maybe wait till they're like 2.5 inches and get an extra, I don't know, 50 bucks for them? I'm just, throwing out a number. Bob, what's your experience with feeding Apistos bloodworms? I heard it can kill them. Is that true? I don't think I've ever killed Apistos with bloodworms. I mean, I've had Apistos die in my care, but never have I been like, that thing died because I gave it bloodworms. I've never heard that before. That doesn't mean it's not true, but I've never had an issue and I've never heard that before. Vibes Aquatics says, remember to smash the like button. Smash it. UPS for living the dream says, thanks guys, never waste some money on your channel. You give great advice and info. Yeah, my info is, I don't know. I don't know. If yes, so here, this is a very good piece of advice for pimping shrimp. If the answer is yes, I would have some kind of proof, because TSA makes up rules day by day. This is 100% accurate. They don't make rules, they just don't know the rules in which to follow. And I mean, honestly, they probably do make up rules too. It happens with any type of law enforcement, right? They make up rules. And it's just something that happens everywhere. So, like, print something out. Like my cop car, I've got a cop car. It's got the light bar on it, and everything, but they're all amber lights, so they're not illegal. But I still get over for having a light bar on my car. And I've got like the RCW code, the law, everything printed out in my glove box for when they pull me over. To be like, look, this is the law. Amber or red or blue. This is amber. It's not illegal. So it definitely helps to have some kind of documentation. I broke my screen smashing the like. All right. Says, okay, back from dinner. What do you have? I need some dinner. Like, I'm hungry. Hungry. What's the first thing you do if you start noticing 3 to 5 deaths every morning in a grow out tank that's been fine for 3 months? I start looking for obvious signs of illness. So anything external. If there's nothing external, then I'll start looking for poop. Normally you can see poop if you have a bare. This is why people who breed fish love bare bottom aquariums, because you the poop. If the poop looks fine, then I'll just treat for something internal, because usually what else is there? This is, again, after checking water parameters, making sure your pH is fine, making sure there's no ammonia or nitrates, nitrite, although nitrite's usually not toxic unless you have an insane amount. But if you've tested your water, like actually tested it and not like, oh, it's fine, I tested it, it's fine, but actually test it, then I would start looking for external, then I would start looking for poop, and then I would treat internal. Anyone know 2 75-gallon tanks stacked making a stand for what 2x4 horizontal cross supports be structurally? My dual 75 tank stand is ran with 2x4s going across horizontally. There's lots of videos on YouTube's about dual stands. Look them up. 2x4s are plenty strong enough to hold it. Obviously, you put like a nice piece of plywood on top of it as well. And then lots of vertical support, right? Don't, this is a mistake I saw someone make the other day. How can I duplicate it here? What do I could use these. I could use these. Let's say these are your 2x4. So I saw somebody build a stand where the vertical beam came in this way. And don't ever do that. Put it on top of the 2x4. So put your horizontal on top of the vertical. Don't do it this way, if that makes sense. Hope it does. I'll just put those down there for right now. Legion says, I'll be lurking for the rest of the stream. Have a good night, everyone. Have a good night, buddy. New local Austin. Hey, what's going on? Bob, I have nose pleco. Bob, I have bristle nose plecos, angels, cories, snails, and guppies in my fish room. I have not fed frozen foods. What would you recommend? My favorite frozen food is brine shrimp with, what is it? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Brine shrimp with, oh my gosh. I swear this happens like every week. something. See if I can find it here real quick. Was it this one? No. Where are you at? Where are you at? Oh my gosh, I don't even see it. I'm about to walk over to my freezer because this is really gonna bug me. Let me try something else. 1 minute, please. Let's see. Spirulina. Oh my gosh. Spirulina brine, frozen spirulina brine shrimp is my favorite frozen food. Matt Gray, you got it. I'm sure other people do. Spirulina, yes. Whew. I haven't said spirulina in probably like 6 months, all right? So cut me some slack. It just left my brain a long time ago. Yes, brine shrimp with spirulina, because it covers both, right? It's like the perfect omnivore food, and I've never had a fish not just gorge that stuff. Okay, why are zebra plecos so expensive when they are being bred basically worldwide? Because they're not easy to breed and they don't have large spawns. If they were easy to breed and had large spawns, then they would be like bristlenose plecos, but they are not. These are not magic cards. They are baseball and basketball cards. I couldn't tell you a thing about the game Magic. Magic, whatever it is, whatever, the card game. We ate pretzel, beer, bacon, cheese, hamburgers from Wendy's for dinner tonight. Oh man, don't you know fast food makes girls fart? That's terrible. We ate pretzel, beer, bacon, cheese. That just sounds awful. I don't know. From Wendy's for dinner tonight. They are so good considering it's fast food. That just does not sound good. Zen Ginger says, Spirulina? I think I went to college with that girl. Well, if it was back in the 70s, you probably did. You think that sounds really good? That just sounds... That sounds, I don't know. That sounds like a lot of things, but it doesn't sound good to me. Jeremy says, what's up everyone? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. I hope you are too. Nathan says, how many Mbuna can I keep in a 20 long? Not very many. I have a couple that are becoming real jerks. Like all day jerks. Sounds about right. Probably like an Erotis. Add a sponge rated for 55 to help the hobby. Mbuna in a 20 long is never going to end very well. There's just not enough room. How old do you think I am? I have no idea. I've never seen you, so how would I even like guess? Have I ever seen you? I don't think I've ever seen you. I have no idea what you look like, so I have no idea. I just imagine you're like some old crotchety woman sitting in her chair, modding fish tube channels. I don't know. Kang Lee, what's going on, buddy? Your store is looking absolutely fabulous. I hope I can visit it someday. Curtis says, I ate fast food for the first time in a long time the other day, and I remembered why I don't eat it. Yeah. Whew, it never ends well. Never ends well. Barbara says, I love bacon and beef, but for some reason I don't like them together. I do. I made burgers today for lunch in bacon grease. Like I fried them up in bacon grease and it was so good. I was born in 78. I went to college in the 90s. You're the same age as my sister then. What's the difference between a wood-eating pleco like an L397 versus a more normal bristle nose? What's the difference? So are L397 wood eaters? Are they Panaculacalus? I honestly don't remember. Okay. Oh, they are Panacalacalus. Basically, it's just outside of their diet, and there's not a whole lot different. I mean, obviously, bristlenose plecos are way more resilient. I think they can handle way more water, like a wider range of water parameters. But basically, it comes down to their teeth, and you can always tell what to feed a pleco by its teeth. So when a pleco is on its front glass, like on the front glass, and say it only has like 2 large teeth, then you know it's a wood eater. If it has a ton of teeth, you know it's an algae eater. If it's like somewhere in between, then more of a meat eater. It's not an exact science, but that's a pretty generally a good rule of thumb. Bacon is a D tier result from an S tier ingredient. I have no idea what that means, but I mean, pigs are the most amazing animal in the world. Like you can't even argue it. Like pigs, you can literally feed pigs dead bodies, and in return they give you bacon. Like that's just amazing. It's like most amazing animal in the world. This is the fishiest stream in a long time. That's true. That is true. One of my newish small discus won't eat, getting alarmingly thin. Treated Prazapro, still has white stringy poop. Now treating Paraclens, poor thing. No improvement. All the rest are 100%. You might try like garlic guard. It's more so to get its not an appetite suppressant, but the opposite. I don't know what the word I'm looking for eludes me right now. Stimulant, an appetite stimulant. So maybe try soaking some food, whatever you're feeding, in some garlic guard, and see if that works. Liquid Zoo OnlyFans says, not only will they eat the dead bodies, they will completely get rid of the evidence. Yes, you can feed them the nastiest, worst stuff in the world, and they give you bacon in return. That is a magical animal, I'm telling you. Great info. I hadn't thought about their teeth. When life gives you lemons, paint them gold. Yeah, the teeth thing, it's in... I'm looking around like I got the book, but I have a Pleco book that was written like 30 years ago, and it goes through all the different... There's like 4 different types of teeth on Pleco, on Plecos. So, yeah, it's basically omnivore, carnivore, herbivore, and then wood eaters. And the 4 different sets of teeth, and you can tell by their teeth what they eat. Is there anything in the saltwater hobby that you wish the freshwater had, other than fish? All of the invertebrates, like the saltwater shrimp, are super awesome. Crabs, super awesome. I definitely wish a lot of those shrimp and crabs could go in freshwater. I tried a garlic soak and I'll never do it again. Made my tank stink and no one liked it. Well, no, yeah. So garlic guard, it's not like it's 100% garlic, right? It's probably like it's probably watered down to like 5%. I've used garlic guard successfully, but if you're just taking like mincing up straight garlic and soaking it and boiling it, like, yeah, that would be pretty harsh. Fact: bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Kurt, I only say that if you've seen both The Office and Battlestar Galactica. Otherwise, you're not allowed to say it. A lot of people say that and they've only seen The Office and not Battlestar Galactica. That's not how it works. You don't get the right to say it unless you've seen both. And it's the new Battlestar, not the old one. Really old dude was pumping gas next to me. He was driving a brand new Jaguar F-Type R. Jaguar F-Type R. It was the nicest Jag I've ever seen. Yeah, but it's still a Jaguar, so you know it's only like 30,000 miles. It's like the Maseratis, right? Once they hit 50,000 miles, they're worthless. UPS, you're living the dream. $5 super chat says, just because I feel like throwing money at you, you can throw money at me all you want. You can even roll up a roll of $10 in quarters and throw it at me as hard as you want. I won't even care. How about African butterfly cichlids? I don't think they're cichlids. I ordered 6 from Dan's Fish last week. Is this a different fish or is it just the butterfly fish? Because I'm pretty sure they're not cichlids. Let's take a look. Yeah. So yeah, that's just yeah, it's not a cichlid, but still pretty cool. Basically the upside down catfish is kind of a common name for them. That you'll see it like a Petco or a PetSmart. I've never actually kept that fish, but they are pretty fun to look at. I don't know why I've never kept it. I just never have. It has a little 5.0 V8, but looks sweet. The Jaguar is definitely an old dude car. I don't think I've ever seen a young person driving a Jaguar. Rocky and Miles says, had a Corolla, last 22 years, would still be going, but got sideswiped by my neighbors at camp. Oh, that's too bad. My truck is up to 260-some thousand miles. Like, I don't know. I'm expecting that thing to hit like 500. Knock on wood. Probably going to break down tomorrow because I said that. Saw a Z06 with a New Balance logo. No way is that real. No way. I don't believe you. New Balance, that's so perfect. You know, some old dude is rocking like his 409 New Balance shoes. Like, look at these kicks, man, in my Porsche or in my Corvette. Like, oh my gosh, that can't be real. Ah, man. All right. Trying Takis for the first time. Takis? I don't know what that is. But the new one is almost seen the same. Oh my gosh, I love that show. Big Shrimpin says, finally bought my first rainbow fish, Pseudomygale luminatus. You will not be disappointed. You know, the rainbow fish nerds will say it's not a real rainbow fish, but it is. Congratulations, man. That's an awesome fish. My favorite Pseudomygale. Rocking the dad cutters. You know what I want to get? I want to get those. The fact that Bob knows 409 is suspect. It's because of that Steve Carell movie with my future wife, Emma Stone. Dan in real life? No. It has that Gosling guy in it. That's the only reason I know about New Balance 409s. Almost Arowana today. Good thing I didn't. Yeah, that's probably a fish that if there was a fish where I think like 99% of the people that own them shouldn't have, it's the Arowana. I get so tired of seeing like 2.5, 3 foot Arowanas in like 75-gallon tanks or 125-gallon tanks. I hate it. Gosh, what's that movie? Someone's got to know it, right? It's a pretty good movie. Crazy Stupid Love. Thank you, Nathan. Crazy Stupid Love. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's got the Steenfott Aquatics stamp of approval. I mean, like I said, Steve Carell, can't go wrong. My future wife, Emma Stone. One day she'll you know, come around. She hasn't yet, but one day she will. Gar is another one. Yep. The like, see those 3 foot gars swimming around in like 10-gallon tanks. There's so many. There's a lot of fish like that though. Let's be real. Makeup says, hi Bob and everyone. Regarding red mosquitoes, if allergic, beware for bad reaction, perhaps no immediate reaction. Wash hands and take care when siphoning, handling tank substrate. Like mosquito fish or actual mosquitoes? I'm confused. Probably actual mosquitoes. Boom! Got it on DVD. Boom! I blame the pet store for buying and selling those types of fish. Yeah, I would never. I still want to open my own fish store someday, and I'm only going to be open. I'm waiting. So here's the deal. Once the economy is like full collapse mode and you can rent a retail space for like $1, I'm going to get myself a fish shop. And I'm only going to be open like 1 hour a week, and it's basically going to be my fish room. But actually having a brick and mortar store will open me up to so many more wholesalers that it'll be totally worth it. And I'll just sell online and ship only, but to them it'll look like I have a brick and mortar store. Because a lot of these places, if you don't have a brick and mortar store, they'll just tell you to piss off. I've already been told to piss off twice today from trying to open an account. I tried to get an account with ADA, they told me to piss off. I tried to get an account with UNS, they were like, piss off. So one day I'll have my brick and mortar store, and they'll be begging me to open an account, and I'll tell them to piss off. Anyways, I don't know why I just went on that rant. Guess what? I have flaws. What are they? I don't know. I sing in the shower. Sometimes I spend too much time volunteering. Occasionally I hit somebody with my car. So sue me. Wait, don't sue me. Double jeopardy. It happened on company property with company property. I don't think you know what double jeopardy is. Oh, I'm sorry. What is double jeopardy? Anyways. Oh, Rach says I had an F-type Jaguar, but I bet you didn't have it very long, right? That's one of those cars, 50,000 miles, you got to get rid of it, or the value. It's like right at 50,000, that value goes from like 40 to like 5. You could buy a Maserati Quadratoupe for like $15,000, a freaking Maserati, because they're worthless at a certain mileage. I've been looking for an 8-foot tank, and they're not easy to come across, but the Arowana is a lovely fish. But see, it's not even that for me. Like, even an 8-foot tank usually is still only 2 feet front to back. And for me, like, if a fish can't turn around without having enough room to touch, I get it. It could, like, you know, it doesn't like stay 3 feet long as it turns around, but still, like, if you can't spread that fish out and have it turn around without touching the front or back, then it's just not big enough. The tank's not big enough. That's my own personal rule of thumb. Like, it's why I like seeing these giant Oscars in 55-gallon tanks, and people are like, oh, they're just fine. I'm like, the thing has to struggle to turn around. How can it be fine? 12 inches and you got a 16-inch fish in there. Technically, yeah, it can turn around, but it's not ideal. It's not even close to ideal. Rocky Miles with the $2 super chat says, not much, but all these pups can afford. Pups. I miss puppies. Not even gonna lie. Hopefully November I can go back to the shelter and start volunteering again. That's kind of my goal. But I miss all the dogs. And, if I'm being honest, a couple of the cats. Matt Gray says, thanks for the time. Thank you, Matt Gray. Paul agrees with me. I'm telling you. If I owned my own fish store, there'd be no Arowanas, there'd be no Oscars, there'd be no common Plecos. Like, why in the world would you ever sell common Plecos when you can buy bristlenose Plecos for almost the same price? Sure, they're like $1 more on the wholesale list. Like, that's an easy sell. So, like, just pay the extra $1. Well, we are old doggos, but pups forever. Yep, they're always puppies. Like, even my 12-year-old husky, she was still a puppy. They're always puppies. Just give me a cheap tuner and I'll be fine, and a house with a garage. Both are a necessity. And some land. You gotta have land. Jerry says, Steenfott Aquatics, if you set up a new tank using some old substrate for the beneficial bacteria, how long would you wait before adding red cherry shrimp? As soon as my test kit was cycled, I would add them. You're gonna lose a lot of beneficial bacteria. It's changing the substrate from one tank to another. and quite possibly you could lose it all and start the cycle over again. Not very likely, but it is a possibility. So as soon as my test kit was showing nitrates, I would add them in there. And honestly, I wouldn't even worry about the substrate. I would go more on the sponge filter. Like, this is why I love sponge filters. Take your sponge filter out of an old tank, put it in a new tank, and boom, throw your shrimp in. Like, these at the same time. Doesn't even matter. Oscar and common plecos constantly up for rehoming. Yep. Anytime you go to these fish stores that take in fish, it's always common plecos and Oscars. Always. I made the mistake of training my 3-year-old to go into heavy play mode by asking her if she's happy. How's that a mistake? You just don't say it. Anthony says, I'm considering setting up a 75-gallon tank. In your opinion, what would be the most efficient way to filter the tank? Well, it kind of depends on your stocking level. That's your stocking level is going to be more important than the size of your tank. Because if you put in a 75-gallon tank and put in a betta fish, it doesn't matter how efficient or inefficient your filter is, right? But if you throw in a 75 and you got tons of African cichlids, you got mbunas, you got, I don't know, haps, you know, all kinds of stuff in there, then you need to be more efficient. What is the most efficient? Probably sponge. Now, whether that's a sponge filter or you get to hang on back and fill it with sponge media, that's all debatable. You could ask 100 people and 100 different people will give you different answers. Update on the new pump. My Cochus are going wild and I'm very happy. We'll see how long this $20 pump lasts. High flow is seriously a game changer for a lot of fish. Try it if your fish aren't suitable. A stagnant water is definitely a silent killer. You really don't want stagnant water. Any type of water movement is better than none. I guess that's pretty obvious, but whatever. My 3 Oscars won't accept any tank mates, but that's just Oscars for you. Mine are in a 125 and still can be in a bigger tank, but I'm always looking for a bigger tank. Aren't we all? It's like, that's just fish keeping in general. Always looking for a bigger tank. Just had Rocky and Miles trying to get a super chat. Has this happened to anyone else? The super chat went through. Not sure what you mean. Aqua Garden Zen says, hope you all had a great Monday. I did, thank you. That being said, we are at the hour mark, and like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I can only go for an hour today, and same with next week. So it is that time. I do have to go. Super busy week the next couple of weeks, and just kind of limited on time. So thanks everyone for coming. Sorry we're cutting it short this week and next week, but hopefully after that we'll be back to normal 2 hours. And so thanks for coming out. Thanks for commenting, lurking, mods. You do a great job. I appreciate it. And I hope you all have a great week. And I will see you all. From Fishtoberfest. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of live streaming going on during Fishtoberfest. So look out for that. If not, I will see you all next Monday. I think, right? Next Monday. And how do I end? Here we go.